running with the runners, 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 running with the runners.
What is up, everyone? Welcome in to the Runners Live. It's Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. We are going to have a fire show for you tonight. I got to put this out into all of our groups, get everyone on, but we are going to just completely blow your mind. As always, I got my good brother here, Ricardo Hamilton, aka M.I.M.S, making it make sense. Ricardo, give me a second here. Tell the people why you're excited about Texit and the whole cryptocurrency space. Will I send this out to the team?
Yo, I'm telling you, lace up. Let's get wealthy. Y'all running with the runners.
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
know what time it is, man. Look, turn up. I mean, look, folks, we got something real special here. We got something real special. This is next level. We haven't even seen nothing like this, and before, and we pumped up and excited because for somehow we just keep manifesting and attracting, and finding opportunities that are benefiting the masses of people. Dealing with physical and digital assets, and we have found it, with this project. That's why y'all see the title. It say we are all in. Okay, it don't get no more straightforward than that. When you're talking about opportunities and how we analyze and evaluate, and look at opportunities, and when we see Texas and what's taking place right now, and we see where this is going, this is huge. So I hope you guys are plugging in, ready for what's getting ready to take place, just in crypto in general. But also, obviously, for those who are taking advantage of owning a miner, okay, and being a part of this ecosystem and this growing community and helping support and build this infrastructure, with Texit and this proof of work blockchain, next level. We're fired up and excited. We love it. Yeah, Mike, we got a great show for the people tonight. Make sure y'all like this out, share this out, stay plugged in, tap in. You running with the runners, we getting wealthy.
All right. I think I got it out to most of the groups. All right, guys. We got off a call today with Bobby Gray, the CEO and founder of Texit. Yeah. And I could almost not control myself, Ricardo. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And, we're going to help so many people win. And the level of transparency and what they're doing and showing people is amazing. But guys, let's start with just the big picture, right? Because guys, 93% of people don't own cryptocurrency. Like it blew my mind, Ricardo. I was hanging out with some people a couple days ago. There was like 10, 12 people there. I'm like, how many guys do you own Bitcoin? These are like, 20, 30-year-olds. One guy owned like $100 of Bitcoin. I'm like, what are you people doing? Like, this is the digital revolution. So I didn't even get to this last night, M.I.M.S, but the creator of Twitter and Cash App. Let's think about this. How many people use Twitter or Cash App? Jack Dorsey created both of them. Jack Dorsey left. Now Elon Musk is there, right?
Yeah.
He just released a Bluetooth messaging app called BitChat that doesn't need the internet or cell service to send Bitcoin peer-to-peer in an encrypted mesh network.
Wow.
So if you guys are new to this, do you understand what this means? This means we can send and receive value without the internet or without cell phone service. So all you people out there that think everything's a scam and this isn't real, try doing anything without internet or cell service. Guess what still works? Bitcoin can be sent on radio waves and Bluetooth now.
And XRP.
And XRP can do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, M.I.M.S, let me pull up the next thing we're doing here. But again, this is the digital revolution. That's why this is now titled the Digital Wealth Transfer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, you guys have to really understand that this revolution, this is literally a reset in humanity in the way that we function. You understand? Like your ability to be in the private, your ability to actually operate decentralized, okay? Your ability to actually have your freedoms and liberties, because that's how it's supposed to be anyway. This system now is this almost, they're trying to push us into this China type social credit score. They're tracking your money. The institutions and tyranny have control over you. No, we're moving into a whole nother era of freedom and liberty and access. And so when you see the things that are coming out of the blockchain, when you see the systems and the services and the solutions that are coming out, I understand that for those who are in the know, it's for them to have their privacy. It's for them to have their rights and their freedoms, the things that are secure to us under the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and things of that nature that have been eroded, through tyrannical agencies and things of that nature. But I mean, folks, look, you don't have to have obviously internet and cell phone service to send value. You understand the technology and the way that things are advancing is beyond really what most people are capable of understanding right now. And of course, we talk about AI, we talk about automation, we talk about robotics, we talk about a lot of the enhancements in technology and energy and things of this nature. Humanity is getting ready to literally exponentially accelerate at a whole nother level. And the problem is that the masses aren't ready for it. A lot of people are not in blockchain and crypto. And the people that are in blockchain and crypto, they're not really in blockchain and crypto. They got it sitting on Coinbase. They got a little bit sitting, and like you said, Mike, they got $100 of Bitcoin, and they don't understand like what's really taking place. Like, if you could really see what is the future looks like, you would be taking every extra dollar you have and buying digital assets, buying physical assets. You would understand that this is the greatest opportunity ever in human history to be able to change your life and your future generations' lives and your story, your legacy. This is legacy time.
Yes.
You're in a legacy building period. So it's huge, folks. It's bigger than just making money. That's the whole thing. It's really bigger than just making money. You're gonna make a lot of money. Money is not even listen, for people who got money, they don't think about money.
Yep.
The conversation shouldn't even be about money. You need to evolve your conversation and your ideas, because money is an illusion. When you have wealth, and this is what I mean, when you have money, you don't think about money. You have ideas. You have ideas. You focus on building and developing. You have no limitations. In your mind, there should be no limitations. But the problem is, everybody's dreams, goals, and visions have limitations because they base it off of money. When you realize, when you really have that real intuition and vision, money's not an issue. The money's not an issue. It comes down to you and your ability to see the opportunity that you have and focus on going straight to that direction. You will manifest and bring everything that you need. But yeah, I mean, listen, what a time to be alive. We're in the greatest time period ever in history. I love that we get to document this, Mike. I love that this is documented on our live streams, on our social media platforms. We are documenting the greatest wealth transfer ever in human history, and it will be looked at and looked back on for decades to come. And we were on point and helping tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people put themselves in position to be free, successful, and wealthy.
Phenomenal. Bro, that is what it's about. That's a Don DeMarco drop right there. First of all, I need to get my soundboard back. And shout out to Steve Boom. M.I.M.S equals nitro times fire. And make money with Angie. Crypto is here to stay without a doubt. So guys, this is one of my favorite books. And I just found out I'm going to see Russ tomorrow in Chicago, or Thursday. He's one of the greatest rapper hip hop producers of our time. You need to get this book. It's all in your head. Go to Amazon, your local bookstore, to get it. But the first one is Everybody is a Star. Some just don't know how to shine. So I want you guys to look at that and understand that everybody is a star. Some just don't know how to shine. That's what we teach you guys. We're just going to pepper a little mindset in here. So guys, anyways, breaking: President Trump's True Social files for crypto blue chip ETF that includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and crypto.com CRO. So I gave M.I.M.S a shout out last night, guys. M.I.M.S called CRO. It literally went up like 22% last night, M.I.M.S. So congratulations, brother.
They watching us, bro. They watching us. I'm telling you, because we mentioned SHX had a nice pump too. We mentioned CRO that had a nice pump. And then of course, if you're in Crow, the meme coin, the top meme coin of the Crow ecosystem is Crow with Knife. That had a nice little pump too as well today. What else pumped that we talked about? Let me see. Crow. ZBEC has a nice little pump, 12%. Metal blockchain. We didn't talk about metal blockchain.
This is the M.I.M.S. This is the M.I.M.S pump.
That's a M.I.M.S pump, baby. Let's get it.
And you
Running with
said,
the runners.
what else was it?
Running with the runners. Oh, Crow with Knife
SHX?
is the top
Oh,
meme
Crow with
coin.
Knife.
If you so Crow with Knife is the meme coin of the Chronos ecosystem. And Crow with Knife had a nice little move today. You can see
That's
that
some
looks
M.I.M.S pump right
moving
there,
just along
bro.
with Crow. Oh yeah, I've been buying the bottom. The bottom. Okay. What else? Yeah, SHX had a nice pump. We talked about SHX. That was almost a whole live. And SHX had a nice pump since we talked about it last. Up what is
Oh
it?
shit.
About
Are we
10% or
moving the
so
market
today.
now, bro?
We market
Are we moving
movers.
the
We
market,
market
or we just know
makers,
what's
baby.
happening? I don't know.
Listen, we just getting started. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We just getting started. You know what I'm saying? So look, man, it's when you really understand the infrastructure and the underlying value behind these assets, it's not no meme coins. And even like certain meme coins, you can't even say, oh, it's a meme coin, because the meme coin has a function. Meme coins have a function now. Certain meme coins have a function now that are greater than most people realize. It's like a mascot. A mascot of a football team, or a mascot of a blockchain. That mascot has value. Every blockchain is a particular mascot. So that's why I get excited when we found out about Crow with Knife, and we found out about certain meme coins like even on the XRP ledger. On the XRP ledger, there will be a meme coin that hits $1 billion in market cap. The question is which one? And we got our posts on the XRP ledger. Shout out to EchoX. But Drop is one of those coins that will probably hit to $1 billion in market cap. If not Drop, it's looking like Fuzzy. Okay, a lot of people don't even know about Fuzzy. This is the first time we talked about Fuzzy.
Bro, you just dropping those dimes? You dropping those dimes? Okay.
Now go ahead and pull up. If you go ahead and pull up Fuzzy's chart too, it's looking beautiful.
Listen,
right?
I ain't bought Fuzzy yet, so you guys do not buy Fuzzy. I ain't bought it yet. What is it? FUZZY?
Yeah, Fuzzy. Yeah, Fuzzy's looking solid. Okay, it's looking solid. You're gonna have to zoom out.
Where are we at here? 25 million market cap.
Get on a daily. Yeah, this is exactly want to get in early. Yeah, but there's certain coins on the XRP ledger that you want to be in. Okay, Fuzzy is one of them, along with Drop. Some people love XR, Army, and then some people love Phoenix. Not David Schwartz, but Brad Garlinghouse. I think recently I mentioned All the Money. Well, it pumped off of him mentioning that. But shout out to EchoX, keeping people up to date on what's popping in the meme coins with XRP ledger. Before, there's so much opportunity in this space. It's crazy. Let alone owning miners in Texit. Let's go.
Yeah, for real. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, your mind's blown right now. You guys got to get into M.I.M.S U or my DeFi school to understand what we're talking about. M.I.M.S just dropped like, mad knowledge. Most people don't even know what he's talking about. But guys, we're going to get into the thing we're most excited about right now, but let's just, again, focus on this, right? Remix Point CEO becomes the first public company executive in Japan to take his salary entirely in Bitcoin. So for those of you out there who aren't into crypto, or even us, like M.I.M.S, we need to have more crypto. We need to buy more crypto. I'm calling ourselves out. The runners do not have enough crypto.
Yeah.
If the CEO of a public company takes his entire salary in Bitcoin, you should probably pay attention. I don't know who this guy is, but I bet he's smarter than me, and I bet he makes more money than me. And if he says, I'm going to take my entire salary in Bitcoin, I should probably buy more Bitcoin. I don't have enough Bitcoin.
He's been watching us, Mike, because we've been telling people get paid in Bitcoin for years now.
He might be a runner. I don't know. He might be
he might be a runner. You know what I'm saying? Either that or he just tapping into the same information that we are, where you have to understand, look, make it quite simple. Why would a CEO do that? Why do you hear about athletes taking their first paycheck in Bitcoin? Or their advancement. Why you hear rappers, why are people talking about this? Because there are some people that realize that you do not want to have dollars. You realize that there is more value in Bitcoin and digital asset than there is in dollars. You see the illusion, the veil is being lifted. This is an apocalyptic times. Apocalypse is a great awakening. It's And some people say the apocalypse is like the end of the world, like a comet hitting the earth. No, apocalypse is a great awakening. We are in apocalyptic times. This is the great awakening. And what is that great awakening? The great awakening is realizing that you was dealing with fake money the whole time. And then that fake money was enslaving you through a debt-based fiat monetary system that put the nation and its people in debt and then charged us interest on it and was confiscating our wealth at the same time. So now the unveiling is the CEOs and successful and wealthy people are realizing, well, we don't want the dollar anymore. We rather get paid in Bitcoin. Yep. We see where the evolution of money is. I mean, just look at your TV. Look at your cell phone. Look at the evolution of technology and your devices. Don't you think the monetary system is going to upgrade the same way? You stuck in the old monetary system with paper dollars, Swift payment system. That shit is old, played out, it's done, it's over with. So the smart people, you know what I'm saying? The smart people are seeing it ahead of time and they're like, okay, this is where the world is going. This is where I need to be. So, let me start, dollar cost averaging, diversifying, hedging, okay, and buying digital assets, physical assets, as opposed to trying to build my wealth up in dollars. The dollar isn't.
That's great, yeah, if you're trying to build wealth in dollars.
Yeah, don't build your wealth in dollars. That's crazy. That's crazy.
M.I.M.S, I love what you said there. Is just, this is it, man. We are evolving, right? So the House is taking historic steps to ensure the U.S. remains the crypto capital of the world. Next week is Crypto Week, guys. We are preparing you. We're here early, right? We have the Clarity Act, the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, which is the CBDC is, think of the CBDC as the devil, right? So there's an anti-devil.
Yeah, that's that. No, well, the better way to say is a mark of the beast. If you've ever read Revelations, and a lot of people worried about the mark of the beast type stuff, that would be a CBDC. You won't be able to buy or sell without their permission. And a lot of people know that in the Bible, that's what it talks about. You won't be able to do whatever without their permission, right? So that's a CBDC. We ain't going to have that here in the United States.
Hell no.
We're against CBDC. Hell no. Okay? Hell no. We're against CBDC. So go ahead, Mike. Yeah, that's a great point to add.
Yeah, and then the Genius Act is a stablecoin bill. Stablecoins are just, US dollars in a digital form. Actually,
and let me say this though.
Hold on. Go ahead.
People, you have to understand that the stable coins is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay? Because once they get the stable coins, underneath all of that is the quadrillions of dollars that's getting ready to flow into the market. Yep. Tokenization of stocks, tokenization of bonds, tokenization of real estate, tokenization of, everything, metals, everything is going to be tokenized on the blockchain. Okay. But first we got to get the stable coins bill done and regulations done, and it's game over. It's game over, folks. There's a lot of fiat and digits on the screen that's ready to move into these, stable coins, and the market's getting ready to explode. So just understand that. But go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so this is Anthony Papliano. He owns one of the biggest Bitcoin companies in the world. Huge Bitcoin evangelist for years. I want you guys to listen to him on Fox Business. Guys, this is on Fox Business, right? My dad watches Fox every day, still doesn't own Bitcoin. I don't know why. I can't help him, but whatever it is.
It's okay. You got enough for the whole family.
That's right.
And the future generations.
That's right. It's legacy here.
That's legacy.
The ProCap made a significant institutional move, purchasing 3,700 Bitcoin at an average price of $103,000.
Did he say 3,700 Bitcoin?
I just want to make sure everyone heard that. $103.
103,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 103,000. Yeah. Yep. He said it.
Okay.
Just yesterday. And the question is, right, there's not a lot of Bitcoin left. I mean, it sounds like the Wild West right now. Where do you find this Bitcoin?
Yeah, so we own now 4,950 Bitcoin. Our goal is to buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can. I like to think
that should be your goal. Whatever you're into. I like Bitcoin. M.I.M.S is more into XRP.
Listen,
we're both buying Texit. We're mining it every day. M.I.M.S.
Do what the wealthy do. Okay, do what they do, not what they say. Because if you go to their banks, they'll tell you to buy a CD. they're offering you, you know, you know, if you go, that's what's going on. You go into their institutions, they telling you to, you know, what's your guy Dave Ramsey? What did Dave Ramsey tell him, Mike?
Oh, he tells you
You know
to
what I'm
buy the
saying?
S&P 500.
Yeah. You know, but I understand that everything's getting tokenized. You know what I'm saying? Or you could buy into the blockchain that's going to be tokenized in the S&P 500, or, you know, where these rails are going to be moving on. But yeah, you have to understand, folks, that when Bitcoin rises, the whole market rises, for one thing. You know what I mean? A lot of these assets are going to benefit from that. But really what you need to get is that the adoption of blockchain. See, when you hear Bitcoin, just hear blockchain. Hear blockchain, okay? Because it's not just Bitcoin that's going to benefit from this massive volume that's coming in from institutions and governments and the wealthy. It's utility projects, you know, it's ISO projects, you know, it's AI, you know what I'm saying? At some point, the gaming is going to come back. You know what I mean? There's certain sectors, because it's everything. Everything is blockchain. You know, so these are just assets you need to be aware of. You need to be holding. You need to be running with the runners. You need to be mining and some more stuff. But well, go ahead, brother. Play that.
Think of now there's a new professional sport for Bitcoiners, which is who can acquire the most Bitcoin. And as much as we want to buy as much Bitcoin as possible, there's a lot of other companies that want to do this as well. And so to your point, what you're starting to see is you are starting to see OTC desks or maybe Bitcoin on exchanges. Those numbers are going down. And so naturally, price will have to readjust upwards because people don't want to sell their Bitcoin at $107,000, $108,000.
Supply and demand.
This has been the story of Bitcoin for 15 years now. Is Bitcoin's price has got to go up to convince some people to sell to the new people who want to buy the Bitcoin.
And again, guys, so a lot of you probably think you've missed Bitcoin, right? You think it's too late. It's over $100,000. M.I.M.S and I have been telling you to buy it since it was $6,000 or below. I still remember when Bitcoin dropped to $3,000. But here's the thing, guys. Bitcoin is a proof of work blockchain. Okay. There are not very many proof of work blockchains. And just so you guys understand what that means is you can't just type a few buttons on a screen and create a proof of work blockchain. You have to actually have physical miners like this. This is one of the top miners, right? And this is what we are building and doing in Texit, building out decentralized mining farms to mine Texit and also Litecoin, which is Bitcoin's little brother, another proof of work cryptocurrency, and Dogecoin, right? You guys have probably heard of those if you've been around crypto. Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dogecoin. I think they're all in the top 20-ish right now. Let me switch the screen.
Yeah, we got
doing.
Yeah, we got the playbook, folks. You have to understand we got the playbook on what it takes to build a successful ecosystem with digital assets. Okay. We got the playbook on where the future of money and value is going and how to capitalize and secure your assets in that transition. Okay. We're tapped in with some of the most influential and intelligent genius people in this space, especially like obviously Mike got up Texit Coin. And when you guys really listen to Bobby Gray, whether it's you listen to him when he testified, before Congress, or whether you listen to him on the training calls and presentation calls that he has every Tuesday night and Thursday at 7 p.m., you're going to hear for yourself the magnitude of what we have and what's taking place and how you can capitalize. But I mean, that chart right there you got pulled up, Mike, is beautiful. That's a beautiful chart right there. Texas hit an all-time high recently of $1.40. I'm future telling now. That was called a Freudian slip, by the way. I don't know who caught it, but anyways, okay. But $1.40 right now. And this is the thing about this coin. It's not a lot of volatility because the community really understands the mission and the value and what's taking place. And we're so early right now for under 1,000 and be able to, receive this coin every single day for the rest of their lives is huge and beyond. Okay. And for you to be able to sell that coin every single day if you want to, or convert that coin into any other digital asset that you love, every single day if you wanted to, or just accumulate the asset because you understand the value of where this is going. This is huge. And I love the ability to diversify. I love the ability of owning a piece of a blockchain, okay, and being able to create legacy and generational wealth in the process. And yeah, I mean, me and Mike got off the training call tonight, mind blown because Bobby Gray really knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? And it's exciting to see because somebody's going to do it right. Somebody gets it, right? And now we definitely have found, I'm saying, that project and that opportunity that people should definitely leverage into.
Well, and here's what blew my mind tonight, Mems, as I was listening to Bobby Gray talk, is the reserves they have, right, are absolutely crazy. And he showed it, guys. He showed it. He logged into accounts. He showed us the USDC that the company has. He showed us the order books they're putting into the exchange. He showed us the Bitcoin address they own. He's going to make it so that we can see the gold that they have. And I did not even know this. Like every week I listen to him, my mind is completely blown. And every week I ask a very specific question that is very technical when it comes to understanding blockchain and cryptocurrency. And today I asked about the block size or the block time. And you guys probably don't know what that is, and that's fine.
Yeah,
but he answered the question perfectly. He put the calculations in and did it quickly on the calculator and said, here is our block size right now, our block time. And I was like, I've never seen this type of transparency from a founder or a leader of a cryptocurrency. And again, let me be clear here, Mims, and we talked about this right after the call, is, Bobby talks about, again, I still love Bitcoin, but I just pull up a tweet today. Let me see if I retweeted it, that Michael Saylor and BlackRock own like 7% of Bitcoin now. I can't remember if I retweeted it or not. I might have just saved it. Yeah, I don't think I did it. But yeah, BlackRock and Michael Saylor now own like 7% of Bitcoin. And so, and he even said, if Roger Ver, who was the founder of Bitcoin Cash, which is another top 50 crypto, hadn't left Bitcoin Cash, and sadly, Roger Ver is stuck on an island in extradition right now, he probably would have never done Texit. So again, our goal here, guys, is freedom, liberty, and sound money.
Yeah.
And going back to exactly what, to me, the best American patriot of our time is Ron Paul. Ron Paul ran for president in 2008, 2012. He is the one that woke me up. He is the reason I'm a libertarian. He is the reason I understand the Federal Reserve is the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of the world. He is the reason I understand the stock market and real estate. Sorry, Mems, go ahead. I get a little excited here.
No. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you get me so excited. My
it.
mind is going, and I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you 100%. And I sent you some earlier, and even Trump knows that too. And we talk about Andrew Jackson, and Andrew Jackson, he was, on his deathbed, he was like, I'm the one who killed the banks. We understood that the central bank is the worst thing that could ever happen to this country. The central bank is the worst thing. It's worse than Iran. It's worse than China. It's worse than Russia. Okay. So that while you're listening to the news and they're telling you Russia, China, and Iran, you don't really understand that it's actually the Federal Reserve. It's actually the central bank. Because when you understand that their product is debt, but you call debt money, which is the dollar, right? The Federal Reserve's note, which is really their note, you're calling debt money and money. So what you're really saying is we need to be in more debt, but people don't correlate money with debt. And then you don't understand that the more debt or money that they create, the less value of the money in circulation. So the money that you're holding, which is debt, okay, is losing value. But you say we need more money. So people are asking the government to do this and the government to that. And that's why Trump and they say, well, look, the government got to cut back on this spending. We got to cut back on this money, this debt creation. It's enslaving the nation. And let alone the Federal Reserve with the interest rates. Well, where are we getting the money to pay the interest? We got to borrow more money to pay the interest on the debt. It's you talk about Ponzi.
This sounds like a Ponzi scheme to me, bro. Hey, let me bring in Russ again.
Ahead,
let me bring
brother.
in
Go ahead,
Russ,
brother.
my favorite
Yes,
book.
go ahead.
Okay,
Bring in Russ, man.
this is the next chapter.
Mm.
F the points. Play for the love of the game. The game is your passion. Your passion is that thing that connects you to the truest version of yourself. Points are just the signifiers, the money, the accolades. And while they may be pleasurable, don't let that sustain you. Stop trying to find love of life via money. And I'm going to put in there dollars, right? Because that's how this world runs, is when it comes to dollars. And again, that's why we've been teaching you guys. We don't measure our wealth in dollars, right? We measure our wealth in passion, life,
Ounces.
silver, assets,
Yeah, facts.
Bitcoin, XRP.
Yeah.
That's it. The Federal Reserve Ponzi scheme of the US dollar has enslaved and caused more poverty than anything in this entire world since 1914, when the Federal Reserve was created. That is what Ron Paul woke me up to. That is the vision and the mission that Bobby Gray is carrying forward.
And another thing that Trump talked about, Mike, and I think I sent you, is he talked about how America was thriving. So we have so much money, we didn't know what to do with it. He says, we had to create committees to figure out what we're going to do with the money. And guess what? America wasn't wealthy from taxing its people at the time that he was referencing. He's talking about it came from tariffs. That's how the country is supposed to have been ran. That's how it was ran. The only reason people are paying taxes now is because of this corrupt financial system that we have, because of the Federal Reserve, this central bank. And you're paying your taxes to pay the interest on the debt. But they had to tell you it goes to the roads and all this and that. But this is why this is the Great Awakening, folks. This is why this is the roads. This is why this is the Great Awakening, folks. People are waking up to what it is and saying, well, why are we doing this? Why are we acquiescing to this? Why are we agreeing with this? Why are we continuing to go along with this? We realize that we're being, enslaved like cattle through this corporate system and debt-based fiat monetary system. Let alone if we start talking about your Social Security and birth certificate and the creation of your strong man and everything else. People are waking up to all of it. They ain't ready for that.
That's another live, bro. That's another live.
You know what I'm saying? It's a whole other live. Right? But no, public enemy number one is the Federal Reserve. And you have to understand that people are waking up to that. The dollar is losing value, it's losing credibility and stats across the globe. You want to diversify, you want to hedge, and you want to accumulate real money, real assets. And that's God's money. God's money is gold and silver. Physical gold and silver has been money since the times of Egypt. Money in Africa, Asia, Europe, the Americas. It's constitutional money. Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution, gold and silver. There are states in the United States where gold and silver is legal tender. Texas just made it legal tender. Florida just made it legal tender. Okay? You need to put yourself in a position to have real money, physical money, God's money. The people's money is blockchain. Yes. It's digital assets. It's Bitcoin. It's Texit coin. That's the people's money. Okay? And then you have the money of slaves. That's the dollar. Yep. That's central bank money. Okay? We're going to come up out of the system of slavery, and we're going to enter the slavery of the system for the people. Okay, and we're going to the system of God's money. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Caesar, you want your Federal Reserve notes? Keep them. We're not going to do business in your Federal Reserve notes anymore, so you can't ask us for nothing. We're going to do business in the people's money and in God's money, and we're going to owe you nothing. Okay, and we're going to die about that. Revolutionary War type stuff. Okay,
that part. That was a Don DeMarco right there, bro.
That part.
That was fire.
Man, come on.
So
let freedom ring. Let freedom ring.
July 4th, baby. It's the season to celebrate liberty and freedom.
That's it.
So again, guys, down below, we have more info if you want to find out. This is just a generic landing page. This is Bobby Gray showing one of my friends, Chandler, one of the mining facilities that they have. They're building these. They're doing more of them. And the last thing I wanted to mention was, where is it? Okay, so this here, I didn't explain this, guys, but this just shows our hash rate, which means our power going up in gigahashes, how many TXC are made a day. Guys, this is like so transparent. It's all provable on the blockchain, right? So again, we're looking at the hash rate here. And let me be clear, this is a layer 1 blockchain. There are not that many layer 1 blockchains.
Yeah.
And this is a proof of work blockchain. There are very, very few layer 1 proof of work blockchains that you can go to the Explorer, and every transaction ever done in Texit coin is on this Explorer. This is the difficulty. And Bobby talked about this tonight. Like, he goes into detail about this. Is something happened in the Litecoin network, and because we're mining them, and this is a fork of that, it caused the difficulty to really spike up, right? And you can literally go back to 2,000, 20,000 pages ago. When did this blockchain start? It started on January 26, 2024. Every single transaction in Texit has been recorded, because as with every blockchain, right? And you can come here and see every transaction, the hash, the address it went to, who created it, the amount. And this is the transparency I love. And again, guys, Bobby getting on Tuesday night, if you've already are in Texit, you got to watch it. I'm just amazed every Tuesday. If you're new, it's on Thursday. So as we close out this show, M.I.M.S, right? If you are not in Texit, and again, we saw this, some people shared it with us, we did not take action. Biggest mistake in my life. So even if you've heard of this and you think you know what it is, I guarantee you, you have no idea, because every single week when I listen to Bobby, I learn more and I'm more excited and I want to share it with more people. So I'm telling you guys, take action, get out of your own way. It's all in your head. I have never been this excited about a blockchain project. That is why we are all in. We are early. If you think you missed Bitcoin, do not miss Texit. We are only at $1.40-ish right now. Get out of your head and get out of your own way. It is all in your head, and it comes down to mindset. M.I.M.S, I'll let you close this out tonight, man, but fire show, and I just can't wait to help more people support liberty and freedom and decentralize money by helping Texit go completely viral on the entire globe.
Dream bigger, folks. Okay. Dream bigger. Okay. Start to really manifest and think about and attract and focus on, what it is that you want, and understand that if you just do the right things right now, that you are putting yourself in position that you don't even realize is going to change not only your lives, but the lives of future generations to come, because of just where we are in the time in history. I want you to think about history. I want you to think about time. Okay. You read about history, you learn about history, and there are people who were living in those time periods that you read about and you learned about, and you will wonder, well, what are people doing? And didn't they know this? And you're critiquing like what was going on in that time. I want you to stop for a second and just observe your environment, where you are in history, where you are in the time and space, and the opportunity that you have if you just adjust your mindset, and if you just take certain action every day on a consistent basis. And you can see how if you do this, like this, at this time, at this rate, that it can yield this result for you. The magnitude of what you have right now is that you got the universe at your back. You got God at your back. The timing is perfect. I don't know if you guys are seeing what's going on with the stars in the sky and the moon. I don't know. Some people don't tap into all that stuff, but I'm just telling you right now, there are forces behind you. There are forces working. Everything is working in your favor, because this live stream, everybody's not catching this live stream. Okay, as much as we should be just as big as Earn Your Leisure or any other platform out there. Okay, not everybody's tapping in and catching this frequency and information, right? But I'm telling you, the timing that you're living in the most significant time period ever in history. This time period, like, just stop and pause. I know you got bills, I know you got family, I know you got life going on, but I want you to realize that you are living, you are awake, alive, and conscious and breathing in one of the most significant time periods ever recorded in human history. And it's still developing right now. And you have an opportunity to capitalize on the greatest wealth transfer in history. So I don't know how else I can say it, how many ways you can say it. But listen, you running with the runners, lace up, let's get wealthy. We running with Texit, we buying digital assets, we buying physical silver and gold, and we helping the masses. and you need to be running with us.
And like you say, M.I.M.S, we are buying assets that produce assets. So guys,
That's it.
get
love
back to the person who shared this with you, or if you're following M.I.M.S or I, reach out to us, get started. You pay one time and you get paid every single day with Texit. We'll see you guys soon. We'll be on a live. Love